Hey everyone, welcome to another great podcast. I'm Mike Sorg, the video and podcast producer for the SAE CDS series, and we got another great one here today. We have guests from some teams from all over the world, our friends from Mexico and Egypt joining us in Baja and Aero Design and AeroConnect, and we're going to be connecting with them to talk about how their year has been with the team, with everything going on. Of course, it's been a pretty crazy year. I don't know, for some reason out there. And we also have here on the line, she'll be chiming in a little bit later, Jamie Knopf, the University Program Coordinator for SAE International. But let's get in and meet our crew today. Our first question, let's go down the line here, starting with you, Mariana. What university are you from, and what is your role on your team?
Yeah, so I'm from Cetis University. I'm from Mexico, and our team is the university's Baja team is called CMB Racing, and I'm currently the rear suspension lead and administration lead.
Excellent. And I understand we also have Karen on the line here from the same university, but you're in a different competition, correct?
Yes. Hi. I'm also from Cetis University, as you said. I'm from Team Foxforce. We participate in Aero Design and the AeroConnect Challenge, and I'm currently the lead of the stability division of the team.
Fantastic. And then we have a couple fellows from Egypt joining us today. We have Mahmoud and Abdul Malik is with us as well. How are you doing, guys?
We are great. I'm Mahmoud from Alexandria University studying electromechanical engineering. I am the nerdy guy who is responsible for the propulsion team, takeoff, and flight plan.
So my name is Abdul Malik. I'm a third year student in mechanical engineering at Alexandria University, and I'm kind of like the stability guy of the team. Yes, I make the tail manufacturing, like the design, calculations, everything about it.
Excellent. Thank you, everybody, for chiming in here today and connecting. So it's really cool to get everybody on the line all at once here from all over the place. And I guess also, how long is each of your team competing in SAE competitions?
I believe our team founded in 2001, but we have been competing in the Baja SAE competition since 2003, I guess.
We have been competing since 2011, and for AeroConnect, we have competed since last year, since 2020.
So for me, Lycans started participating in 2016, including this year in advanced class. So SAE Aero Design competition was like our intention since 2013. So yes, we've been like for 7 years now.
It's good to see that everybody's got a number of years on their belt as a team, and hopefully that means some good practices have been kind of passed along to you as well, right? So tell us how your team operates. Like how many team captains, marketing team, the faculty, how do things operate for you, Marina?
Well, most of our team, I believe everyone in our team is from the engineering school of our university, but we have a team captain who has two sub captains, a engineering lead and administration lead. And well, our team captain is mainly in charge of the administrative tasks, and constantly monitoring both things, the administration one and the engineering one. And then we have the engineering team has six sub captains per subsystem, which are, well, with its chassis and brakes, drivetrain, front suspension and steering. Then we have rear suspension and electrical system.
Yeah, we operate in a similar way. We have one team captain who is in charge of mainly administrative tasks, but they can also get involved in technical duties sporadically or when their help is required. And we also have sub-captains who lead the engineering operations of the plane's systems, like wings, empennage, fuselage, landing gear, and motor. And we also have one sub-captain who is in charge of the administration team.
We are from Alexandria University in Lycan's team, mainly consists of many generations. We consider ourselves as a large family, not like a team, but we have mentors. We have many generation of advisors. Our season start with elections for the captain and vice. Both of them do manage the whole team, technically and non-technically. They are supposedly seniors in their last year to graduate. We have mechanical and electrical sub-teams. Most of them are supervised by our faculty advisor. Additionally, the mechanical sub-team is divided into propulsion, wing, stability, and fuselage. The electrical sub-team is responsible for the whole electronic system, remote control, FPV, and computer vision targeting in the Aero Design competition. We do have another sector of public relation, marketing, media, and documentation sub-team, which consists of the same members in the team, which sometimes become challenging to keep all the deadlines while being a full-time engineering student in Alexandria University.
Hey, Mike, I have a question for the girls. Since you are from the same university, do your teams follow the same practices or get together often, or are you two separate entities?
We actually get together quite a few times. We synchronize in some activities like fundraising activities and in social media. So we are constantly talking to each team in between teams.
Also, when we were like going to school regularly before the pandemic, we shared the workshop. Like we did not have separate spaces. We shared everything, so we are really close since we work well together most of the time.
So of course, with everything else, for most of us over the last year, the COVID pandemic impacted a lot of our lives. But the competitions kept trucking along, of course. So tell us about like how did the COVID pandemic impact your team and going into these this version of the events? Mariana first.
Yeah, so our team organization remained the same basically, but I believe as everyone, the format of our meetings changed. We both teams, uh, I, the Aero Design and our team worked on Saturdays for and issue system works as necessary. But currently, our team, which is Simba Racing, we have been having virtual meetings on Saturdays at the same time as we used to like in on the workshop. But we have we've been working on Discord, which is a like gaming server, but it was easier for us to communicate that way because we have the main server for the team, and then we have 7 different voice channels. So that way, it is easier for us to switch in between channels whenever a specific team needs to talk to another one. For example, suspension and steering, they can constantly switch in between channels, and it will be easier for us to discuss anything we need. And as for our design, the past cycle we started this idea for the all-wheel drive configuration, but we decided to stick to the rear traction configuration. So this year we already have an idea of what we wanted to do and what we wanted to achieve, but we started again by with a general meeting where each subcaptain talk about how four-wheel all-wheel drive configuration would impact each system, and well then we have like general drivetrain specification for this configuration, and afterwards we started conceptualizing our ideas.
Excellent, Karen. How about you?
As Mariana said, our team organization kind of remained the same. We also used to meet on Saturdays, but the format of our meetings changed. We used Google Meet mostly for our weekly meetings. So we had Google Meet links for every subsystem's weekly meeting, sorry, and we kept those links in a spreadsheet so that every team member could have access to the meetings in case they needed to discuss something with a specific team. So, for example, if I was on the wing subsystem, I would go to that link, and if I wanted to discuss something with the fuselage team, then I'd just switch from meeting to meeting, and that's kind of how we got things going. Our design process pre-pandemic was heavily focused on prototyping and brainstorming on site. So the fact that we couldn't do that kind of it did kind of complicated things. But after a couple of months of each subsystem analyzing their options and deciding what they wanted to do with their configurations, we had one face-to-face meeting only with the team captains, just in order to share our ideas and get things clear for everyone. And we were not able to make prototypes since we could not access the workshop. But having that meeting helped us clear things up and kind of just understanding what every subsystem was doing and how it would come together in the final product. And regarding sponsorships, we asked for more software sponsorships since we knew that we were probably not going to be able to validate calculations with testing. So we wanted our design to be strongly based on analysis. And yeah, that's it.
So to be honest, actually, COVID-19 was unexpected guest for the team and like the whole world actually. So the first disappointed was that we didn't fly in SAE Aero Design 2020. This was very disappointing to be honest. So also we didn't fly in 2021, so we are still managing to get the permissions, tickets needed to participate on site due to flight restrictions and visa delays or exams reschedules. Also, we had many delays from the community as a quarantine, university restrictions, and also the laboratory equipment in the university is closed, fully closed. So till further notice, and finally shipping was and still a continuous nightmare for every component we didn't manage to find in Egypt. So we couldn't find components in Egypt literally. And also we couldn't manufacture in our workshop so easy. So we had a lot of challenges in this also. So I will let it to Mahmoud Amara. So maybe he got like some ideas also.
I will add some from the non-technical aspects of the team. When I was making like recruitment in the first season, we make strict rules in our meeting or workshop. Most of the meetings were online using Zoom in online to restrict or maximize four members at any given time during manufacturing. And the recruitment phase was online to minimize the lowest possible number of aspiring candidates to participate in the online training. Then offline one-to-one interviews, both technical and in personality. Like I said earlier, we have 16 or 20 member in the team, so we are a large family, and we need to make sure that everyone has his role and has his personality and aspiring candidate for the team.
Of course, looking back, not that I think anybody could expect the situation that we found ourselves in over the last year worldwide. But looking back, how do you feel your team could have made changes to better prepare for a situation that could have come up like this?
Before the season started, both of our school teams had a short workshop on how to plan for volatile or uncertain, complex, and ambiguous scenarios, which is called PUCA. And this workshop was presented by the Dean of the College of Engineering, Dr. Jorge Sosa. And in this workshop, he gave us tools and strategies that we could implement in our planning and goal setting, considering most possible outcomes. So this gave us a baseline to start working under the premise that if things got better or worse regarding the whole COVID situation, we were prepared to switch our team's course of action, and we were not going to stop or slow down our work because of uncertain circumstances. So I think that really helped us prepare for most possible scenarios.
Yeah, and I believe that everything always can change onto better things. But I think that both teams have worked very hard to achieve what we have done lately. And once we had the Buka workshop, our motivation went pretty high up, and we started implementing short motivational phrases in between teams, which are specifically uh, we do not break for pandemics and we will not be grounded, both suggested by our dean, Dr. Jorge Sosa. And in addition, both teams, as I mentioned before, we have bonded and been working together ever since everything started and previously. And we have been pretty supportive to each other. We also have implemented the hashtags CMBX Workforce and Stronger Together whenever we post it on social media. And since we both, Karen and I, are basically the ones who are in charge of the team's social media, the both teams have synchronized posts, as I've already mentioned, and also in virtual events and fundraising activities. We've been pretty motivational.
Awesome, great philosophy. What about you, Mo?
We couldn't prevent nor change the current COVID situation, worldwide restriction to fly to USA. As Abdul Malik said, we couldn't fly last year, and this year we are struggling to get the visa till now. but we have great hopes. We already finished our design and manufacturing, and even if the equipment is very scarce and the material is not found, we manufactured our own tools and we found and made our material using balsa wood or carbon fiber. We are ready to competition and have great hopes to fly it this year. We learned from last year that we must make sure that we finish everything early and we'll be ready for the competition, ready for the exams, and ready and have to adapt for the change or any new outcomes. For the competition is next June, so wish us luck.
Has the team ever encountered any other situation that's impacted the value and progress of a team? Obviously not to this extent, but and any other kind of hardships you guys have seen over the times before this?
Yeah, mostly monetary. And well, as for the Baja SAE California from 2019, which was the last thing physical competition, I don't know. The team had meetings. Currently, we had meetings so we can know each other to organize the whole year we are going to participate. And as months passed by and the rules and dates were established, basically we had a struggle to raise money, and we had to make uh, events like raffles. We made a car wash. We also had sales during the or school football games and another fundraising activities. But um, this let us raise enough money for the team to pay the inscription. And yeah, so by January, uh, we weren't able to start manufacturing, and well, the competition was in May. So primary because we had just bought the tubes for the chassis, and also for some reason there was an accident at our school workshop, so we needed to rearrange some things like the work schedule, because now we needed to have a professor at all times supervising us. And most team members had classes up to 10 p.m. and well, other ones used to work on the mornings. So long story short, no professor would stay late at night, so we couldn't work uh, in our vehicle pretty much the whole time. And the team captain at that time, he used to work at a workshop, and he asked if we could work there. So uh, this place basically sponsor us the area to manufacture a vehicle. But uh, we started working there every Saturday morning, and at this point, we could finally start manufacturing. And I'm talking about this was pretty much around a spring break, so we had only a month to manufacture our vehicle. And as the competition day arrived, we almost had our chassis built out, but we still needed to get through every other system in the vehicle. And also we needed, since we were working outside of our school, we had a specific timing to work. We had to work since from 9 a.m. up to 1 p.m. approximately. uh yeah, so basically we were pretty rushed on times. And as the competition was supposed to be in May 6th, the 16th, I think, we still didn't have enough money to buy other uh, components and manufacture. So by the 9th, we have this massive event, which I organized another teammate, and we had like these battle of events which help us fundraise enough money to buy everything else and to pay for where we were going to be staying for that weekend. Here in Mexico, the in May 10th is Mother's Day, so basically I wasn't able to see my mother, and most of the team members were in with our families for that day, because we have since we have already earned the money, the next day we arrived to the workshop, all everyone with sleeping bags. So we started working harder, and there was no way we couldn't make it through the competition since we have been like struggling, and we basically wanted to make it through. And we basically only left the workshop to go to classes, shower, or bring food for the team because everyone was always in the workshop. And we finally had details and managed everything, and we made it through the competition. Although we didn't pass the inspection, I think we well, it was one of the best experiences I ever had, sincerely. And it was the very first time I had I went to a competition, so it was pretty a pretty good experience.
The point where we realized that things were like going to go wrong was when the Aerotech event was canceled. But one day before we got the email of that cancellation, things were already kind of not going too well for our team. It started raining heavily here, and it almost never rains. So that day it rained like really heavily, and our workshop had leakings. So by the time we got to school in the afternoon, we got to the workshop and we realized that about half of our plane's structure was ruined, since most of it is made out of balsa wood. So most of it was really, really like pretty much useless since it was all wet and stuff. So this would have been catastrophic. In fact, I think it was because most of our plane was really just all wet because of the rain. And we were really worried about it, but then the on-site event was canceled a few days later. So I think if that cancellation hadn't happened, we may not have been able to fly our plane since we didn't have enough balsa wood to compensate for the losses, and it was really close to the competition date, so we were not going to be able to order more balsa. I think that really would have been a problem if the on-site event hadn't been canceled.
So you had a kind of a combination of issues there happening.
Yeah, everything just happened on those days. It was really dark times for our team.
Oh, I bet. What about you, Mahmoud?
Mainly we encounter two problems: the flight to USA and the manufacturing. While we are in the manufacturing, I am in the propulsion sub team. We need the motor, electronic speed controller, the battery, and the battery we ship from USA every year, and the motor too. Our motor this year we ship from Germany, so we cut the shipping cost to half, literally to half, due to COVID-19. Uh, the carbon fiber we ship from Cairo, in the capital. We are in Alexandria, in a coastal city. So it was like a nightmare for the manufacturing material and tools. But we did it. We finished the manufacturing and we did the presentation in say Aero Design last Friday. And I will let Abdel Malik say the other BR and report for the team. Go, Abdel Malik.
So I want to add something about like the challenges we conquered last year. So regarding the tail and also the boom fixation. So as you know, sir, the boom is just a road. So we couldn't find the carbon fiber last year. So we have like to make a research about it everywhere in Egypt. We couldn't find it. And also, as you know, so carbon fiber is very expensive, though it's used in like supercars and stuff like that. So we managed to find like a fishing rod, like having the same percentage of carbon fiber that suits our loads and stress analysis. And yes, we done using it, and it could like have the loads on it with no any problems. Also about the fund, yes, I want to thank like our sponsor, Bahgat, Mansour. Those people stand out for us even after the corona virus happened. So they didn't like surrender or give up on us. So yes, I just like want to thank them from my side here. So yes, that's it.
For each of you, what advice would you have for a newer, younger, less experienced teams, especially given the high hurdles you've gone over this past year, of course?
My advice would be get involved, but also get younger people involved. I think it's common to dismiss freshmen by assigning them boring tasks while the grown ups are working. But it's really, really important to teach them and get them soaked on information and competition hype. Because if your team is young, you definitely want it to grow and keep going strong over the years. And that's going to fall on the shoulders of your current freshman members. So I think it's really important to transmit the feeling of excitement that on site competitions have. Because I know that virtual experiences may not be as enriching as actually testing your prototype on site, but they can be really rewarding in different aspects, such as being able to network more easily with other teams, connecting with sponsors and organizers. So, to summarize, I would just say convince your young ones to remain on the team and to build trust within team members. Technical aspects of the project are important, but you really shouldn't underestimate team building and bonding activities because this is what will make your team stronger along the years.
Well, don't be afraid to ask for help. I believe everyone is always trying to uh, prove themselves as in getting the younger members of the team to get involved and delegate activities. Uh, I think engaging with as many members as possible, whether it is for bonding activities, like Karen said, or a specific administrative or engineering task, I think that can make the team even stronger. And also keep your team motivated. It is important to demonstrate that to the whole team that everything's going and everything is doing fine. And once people start feeling unmotivated, results won't be as expected.
Yeah, I am not a senior like Abdelmalik. Abdelmalik will give much thoughtful advice. But for me, I am in term 8 now. It's my fourth year in engineering. I have 2 more years to graduate this year and the next. But my advice, as I joined many teams before, and Lycans is not my first team, but the most one that's close to my heart, that you must have the power to adapt and to change. You must to overcome stress or change that may come during engineering studies in here in Egypt or in USA or in any other country in the world. You have new challenges every year, new tasks, new deadline, and the competition season or in the university life as a student, uh, especially for every ever-changing communities and technology advancement during the worldwide pandemic. We see every new technology, we see new gadgets and new things every day. So life is like an adventure. We should take the road anyway. So simply enjoy it.
Yes, I would like to add, like, yes, life is adventure. We should take the road anyway. But as this is my second year joining SAE and participating in it, yes, I have to say that I got most of my engineering skills from this competition. I remember last year I didn't have most of them actually. So between designing, having like schedules, being restricted, this stuff I couldn't manage to have it without SAE Aero Design. And also I want to say to the new members, like the upcoming new members that will participate in the same from our university, yes, you should have hope. You should have hope because you are giving hope to other people in Egypt. Because those people, after seeing you like having a medal in this competition, they will get hope for the next generations also and for the future of Egypt. Um this is only what I have to say. So thank you.
Excellent. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. I think this has been a great conversation and a great insight to see what your teams have been doing. That I'm hoping that's going to help a lot of people out there that are listening to these podcasts. Thank you so much for joining us. And again, looking forward to seeing you in the near future. And thank you for participating in all the virtual knowledge events. And it's been a heck of an adventure over the last year, seeing CDS evolve over this time. So, and once again, if you're listening on the podcast, please make sure you're subscribed wherever you happen to be listening to this on all your great podcast providers. If we're missing anything, please contact us at that email address that's connected here, and we will make sure it's on the platforms if we're missing any, because I know they're popping up all the time. You never know. And of course, you can go right to your CDS app for your competition to find links to that podcast so you don't miss it and you get updates whenever new ones are released. So thank you, everybody. See you guys at competition. Until next time, stay safe out there. Thank you for listening to Level 4, the SAE Auto Drive Challenge podcast. Make sure you download our app on your smartphone for updates and contact information. The show notes for this episode and all others can be found at autodrive.fireside.fm.